So what we need for this project, we'll need definitely for 3D printing black, white and yellow plastic. But the yellow plastic now is printing, so I can show you. We'll need a screwdriver and a small screw to fix the backplate for all our electronics. It should be no more than 4 mil and not deeper than, well, I would say 15 mil. Anything what you can find around your house will fix that one. Of course, we need some knife to remove some brim or any plastic. We need additional for this removing. We need any calipers for removing supports, and the special that we have is compartment for electronics. We definitely need this LED strip. The first when I bought first time, I bought 1 meter, assuming that will be more than enough. Then I bought the second one, and from out of 5 meters, I use only 2, so 3 was left. So for this build now with you guys, I'll be using this 1 meter, what is left, and additionally I'll be fixing whatever I need from leftover from previous project. And this is only really simple. Very basic LED, very cheap. 5 meters cost about £7 from eBay in UK. It's only white color, and the key point is to get the LEDs as close as you can for a price, the budget you want to go. You can even go, I think it's 120 LEDs in 1 meter. This is a 60 LEDs in 1 meter. And if you want, you can go for addressable RGB or any RGB controlled via Wi-Fi, or you will maybe want to go with motion detection, or maybe you, as me, using a home assistant and you want just to go VLED, some Tasmona flashed, what's called chip, not chip, controller, and you want to control this, CyberPunk, I don't know, with some automations, etc. You come to into room, or you turn on a computer. Okay, we definitely need some kind of glue. My advice would be to use a hot glue. If you don't have a hot glue, use anything else. Optional would be great if you have a heat gun. A heat gun will make the plastic softer when we inserting the letters, and when it gets cold, the letters get really good with snap into. Okay, I think that's all. Let's prepare the base for a print. So I'm using a slicer, Prusa Edition, I think it's called. And one of the key points for this is to import the parts in some order. So first we should import the base itself, and because we can use the brim, as brim will go out of a print plate, I created a custom brim, and it's important to drag them in that order, as it's the same order as printer will be printed from a G-code. Following step, what we need to do is to right click on a custom brim and go add settings, infill. Not infill, but add settings and then infill. Select the bottom fill pattern and top fill pattern. Instead of a hybrid curve, which one I'm using to match the bottom powder Prusa powder metal sheet texture, so I want to match the same texture on the top. So I'm using a hybrid curve, and it's quite nice. A texture you're getting in the end, and you can't see how it was printed, and different reflections as you're getting normally with other um, with other textures. So bottom and the top, we want to sorry, choose concentric, and the reason is because for a top layer and a bottom, well, for a base, it's nice texture, but for a custom brim, I want to make a long lines, which one actually will hold all these edges, stick well to the hot bed. Other settings, what I'm using is to fill pattern, guy rod. As long as I'm aware from YouTube, other YouTubers who actually done some comparisons, guy rod is it's quite strong infill, and additional to this, it's not making that strange noise when you go when you normally go with this rectilinears, whatever. And then you go for, let's say you go from top to bottom, and then you go from left to right to make the squares. The nozzle actually going through all the lines it's already made, and it makes like jumping noise because you catching every line, and depending on your own fill percentages, this noise could be terrible. I don't know how bad it is for a nozzle or a hot end, but don't like it. And additional to this one, it's a weaker compared with a guy rod. Why not go just straight away guy rod? Skirt brims, no brim. And for infill, I already talked that one. Layers, I go 0.2 for this one. Normally you can go for 0.1 depending your well, depending how much quality you want to do or so on. Perimeters 2, and a scene position I choose to go for nearest. I don't wanna rear line or somewhere else. So nearest works for me best. Filament settings. Here I would like to take this opportunity to talk about it. I can see a lot of people actually complain about PLA warping from hotbed, and in my own opinion, if everything is set up well as Z height, level of bed, and it's cleaned with what's called, not white spirit, acetone. I think it's acetone. Yeah. So if you have cleaned your bed and everything is dialed up correctly, and you're still getting warping up, one of the key points I would like to mention is people going too hot. The PLA, when it was designed and created, no heat bed was as a thing back to the days. And most of that days printers, they just print on a glass or something like this. So that's why is a reason when we buy a PLA, it on the details of the temperatures is said from zero to 60, and people actually may just cranked up to 60 from beginning, and then they getting warping. They cranked even more, 65, 70, and 75. I saw people crank up 75 ish, and they getting away from this, with just increasing this temperature. I don't know how, but if it works for them, that's great. My advice would be dial down, dial these temperatures down. I'm normally using 45, but because the winter is another side of a window, I cranked up to 50 now, and just try it, and you will see it helps you or not. PLA, if it's too hot, it's not sticking well to the hotbed. If you're using Prusa powder, texture metal sheet, that's the best thing I ever used. No need any hairspray or double tape, anything of that ones. It sticks brilliantly. No need any messes. Just dial down a bit your temperature, assuming that everything else is correct. All other numbers is correct. So let's slice that one. So next step, what we need to do is, well, this is optional, but I strongly advise to do that one. So at height of 5.6 mil, depending your, the number of layer will be different depending your height of them. So the layer, which one is the last top layer before we start printing the walls of letters. Press this plus button to indicate the color change at this height. So, and one layer up, press this button again, and end up. So what do we have here? It will be black, one layer of white, and then black again. And this will make a white bottom of letters. When we put LEDs, that reflection of white color will increase brightness, and our letters will be lit up even more. I'll use a chance to show a bit more of a tunnel. So here is a first how to say, from this from this compartment where we fit all electronics. Well, not a lot of electronics, just literally power source. Unless you're going for addressable RGBs, or you want to put some Arduino from, let's say you want to, from motion to lit up this one, etc., etc. This is a huge compartment to go with. I think Arduino Nano, Arduino Mini will fit here easily. Definitely not Arduino Uno, definitely not. So here is a compartment to like a tunnel to go into letters space, put it this way. If I'm not mistaken, I made this tunnel a 10 mil. So that means the LEDs, which one I drop there, link of 8 mil will fit here easily. But if you're going something wider up to 10 mil, I should to go from this tunnels into, from this tunnel into this letters, and from this tunnel into this letter, go back, goes all B, R letter, A, K, into N letter from this gap, and then you go back another wall up to the same compartment, and you will end up really nice, consistently spread a light source across all of this base. Okay, let's print this bad boy. P.S. I forgot to mention one thing. You need to add support on build plate only. And one of the additional settings, what you need to do is under a support material, and you click generate support material, you need to untick don't support bridges, because we need support the bridge, and tick this one, support on build plate only. After you slice it, make sure, double check that this electric compartment where we install the electronics is supported by, well, supports, which one will be easy to remove. Yeah, now definitely it's ready. Let's print it. To prepare letters for printing, it's a bit easier. We will be using the same settings as for the base. The key point here is actually to flip over the letters upside down. And after done this, we need to add the brim of 1 mil. Slice now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the brim of 1 mil, or in other words, this will be like two goes, is exactly the plastic which one don't let the letters to fall in the gap. Okay. Additional to this, we'll be using the same approach as for a base. The last layer height, we how to say, no, not here, on the top, the last layer. So scroll way over top, the layer 3 plus symbol, plus signed. So the last layer up to yellow, we will be printing white. This white one layer on it, at the back of the letters will diffuse the light, and we won't be seeing this LED spots. It will be just one color and it lit up, and it will be looking pretty cool. Okay, that's all. Actually, that's it for letter printing.
Slowly kisses passing by the river.
So this is all the parts you need to 3D print. Base, all the letters including 207 numbers. Backplate, which will be covering this electronic box with one screw and a gap for a cable to go out. Here I can show you example. This is one of the examples. And this is I call 2077 backplate. So then we go LED in all these gaps. Of course, this will make more sense in the end, but when all LED goes back, or in all these letters, and goes back to this electric compartment, we take this one, we glue in, we stick in the LED strip, and if we flip over to cover the letters, and if you flipped this one, you can see now it's a white and shiny inside with LEDs. So this is a plan, and that's why we need some what's called hot glue, or any glue actually here. So we'll start from base. Even though I put on the title it's not requires any soldering, just because I'm using leftovers of LEDs, which one is not enough, I'll be doing a minimal soldering, actually just positive and negative, positive and focus, yeah, positive and negative, so it's only two cables need to solder it to this LED strip. But if you bought a 2 meters, or being safe, and you bought 3 meters, which one in the price difference is not huge, you don't need any soldering for this job. So to start this, on a U letter, which one has a gap to go in electric compartment from here, we will be sticking on the left side. So we're starting from above number 2, and we'll be going clockwise all the letters. So to stick clockwise, we will go LED shining to the right. It's really important to start when you're grabbing, well, you stretch the LEDs, so make sure no how to say any nuts or spin around. So you want to make sure it's nothing mixed, and then you have the end, you start pulling from a gap. And it's really important to do this one, because I'm saying from my experience, even though I done this one I bought 5 meters, I wasn't not sure how much I need. And playing with 5 meters, it get me in really terrible spots, which requires me to actually pull all it out, twist upside down, and pull again. Cool, let's start doing it. By the way, from U letter, when you push in, don't go up. My advice would be go straight away to the P letter. Use same pliers which one you use to remove supports. It will help you to get in these narrow gaps quite easy. And before continues, I would advise you to, if it's optional, it is optional, but if you have one of them, that will help you a lot. So what you need to do is actually to put my camera back. If you put by the end of a table, making sure electrical compartment is above air. 1 second. You can actually use this clips to clip it tightly to the table. Now just gently pull. Okay. If you pull back, you could start removing the cover for sticky part. And removing about 2-3 centimeters now. Using pliers, I will be pushing LED to the wall, especially that part where the stick part, the sticky cover was removed. Now I just need to find the end point. By removing this cover, I will be carry on clockwise and sticking LED to the wall. One of the key points is actually to make sure you stick right to the bottom and your LED is not going up. And it's really hard to do sometimes in this tight spots. My advice would be leave the stick cover, and then you get down with LED strip, unstick the parts already sticked and move down. So what I'm trying to say, if it's glue or if LED, let's say this is a wall, and if your LED sticks somewhere here, get your or how to say, get your strip further more forward, down, and go back here, unstick with the pliers, go bottom and stick where it should be. If you really want to lit up this end of the letters, my advice would be try to get as much as you can, at least one additional LED in that gap, and especially in this end part of P letter. We got to another gap where we need to go into letter C. So again, I will go clockwise, so I need to stick like this, so making sure there's no twist on LED strip, and I need to go this direction, and it must be from this side of LED, so let's stick it back. Again, using pliers to grab strip, pull in.
Slowly kisses passing by the river.
Sorry about this, guys. The camera decided to stop to record. So summarize where we left. I got in letter C. I already got letter C, and now from letter C I got out to letter Y. It's really good time to time to actually connect to LED strip to connect to power, and to make sure LED strip is still working, even though I gave to the strips quite a lot I would say force, and I wasn't gentle with them, it's still working brilliantly. So even though still be guys still be gentle with LEDs and electronics. So let's continue to go in Y letter and back to the same first gap where we come from U letter. And again, from the same gap where we came in, but not to the electric box, on the U letter and going towards B letter. So I'll leave this end and I will start soldering now. Hey, it worked. Now from K to letter N. And here is a state where we go back to electric box compartment. One more check before next step. Nice. Be aware, don't use the pliers when it's power on, because this LED is not waterproof, so all the contacts and all the cables are exposed. If you're using something with metal, you can actually shortcut it. Next part, quite easy. We need another 3D printed part. 2077 back case. Should be open side, need to go to the side where its LED is coming from, and the angle one goes to the bottom of the base. So the right angle, this angle goes to the top. You can actually measure it before gluing up. And the most important thing is to distribute the white case across all this. Cool. Actually, I think I'll change design to make it even. I think I will change design before I upload. So this part should go into the corner, and you no need to adjust where is the midpoint of where is the midpoint covering all the letters. So I think that would be a smart step. Just go in the corner, glue it up. Okay. So if this goes here, I need to start like this. make sure you try to get LEDs as much as you can into the corner, so you don't do this round circles. And that's it. Cut off a few more LEDs, so just to be just to be safe. Oh, yeah, just a few more, just in case. Test it. Okay. I think I found my spot. Now just use a bit glue and stick that one in place. For this job, you can use anything what you normally use for 3D printing. I'm using just super glue. Any universal glue can help with this one. Find the most comfortable location to put the cable, and don't forget which side the cable must go out from this compartment. I'm using a hot glue for this task. Next we can add the cover. That's it. Hardest part is done. And let's check before we cover putting the letters on. Nice. Okay, that looks great. So putting letters, it's I don't have a lot of advice here. How they print it is actually you just push in and they hold quite well. But if you have experience and you do have a heat gun, you can actually preheat a plastic before you putting letters on it. So that actually allows to get in place even easier. I don't know about using glues because it can actually, let's say, it can become an obstacle to light to get through the letters. So if you use too much, few drops, yes, but not too much. Or just gentle push like I did. Letters in place. Don't push too hard, because it's possible to push letters inside. By the way, 2077, this 77, the letters 7 and, well, number 7 and 7 are different. So be aware which one 7 to put which gap. I need to work with number O. When I was removing supports, accidentally I break the midpoint of letter O. You know, this gap in the O. Yeah, 7 is actually this one of those here. So on number O, it's not holding in the place now. So my advice would be, you removing the supports, be very gentle with number O, because you don't want to accidentally remove that one. Okay, the numbers, strongly advise to use some glue or heat gun, as this 1.7 doesn't really want to stay in it. There might be some support still in the way. It does look like. Okay. Pretty sure this is the right 7. Okay. Now, bro. So yeah, let's have a look how it looks. Nice. Okay, that's it. How you build a CyberPunk LED. As I mentioned before, you can actually choose. You can put any electronics inside. RGB, it's another project. I just don't want to make this tutorial too long if I start explaining how to code addressable RGB LEDs, or add some motion detection in it, and lit up when you come in the room, or maybe just connect to your CPU performance, and you want to change colors depending how much CPU usage currently you running on your CPU, etc. So that's a lot. I think the compartment for electronics is big enough to fit most of electronics. If it isn't, it's really easy to take about below 207 and just extend this compartment to the length what you need. Okay, guys, I'll try to play with the letters, and if I find some good solution, I'll add in the end of this video. Meanwhile, take care and good luck with DIY project.
And I'll go is not enough.